God knows that you really like this person. Let's be honest. You know that you really like this person and you're having all these warm feelings and emotions. However, you do not know what to do next. And so in this video, I'm going to give you 4 things that I wrote in my book, Completely Single, to do so you do not sabotage this relationship. Like we say often, comment below because we really want to hear from our followers and see if you agree or even disagree. But before we get started, do me a favor, like this video and also subscribe. So the first thing you need to do when you start liking someone is to slow down and pace yourself. That's right, you need to slow down. So many times we're so excited we start fumbling the ball, missing the layup, if you will. And we're doing too much. We're telling too many people, hey, I like this person or I'm going with this person. And y'all have not even gone on your first date. Listen, slow down. You see, when we start outpacing the journey or outpacing the process, we start missing the signs. Yeah, the red flags that come up and we just miss it because we're moving too fast. We also start getting into our head a lot. We start overthinking the process. And what I believe God is telling us today is to slow down. Slow down the process. It's going to be okay. One of the things you need to do is really get to know the person. What is the person's name? What do they like to do? Do they have a job? I talked about this in a recent video of education. We need to slow down and get to know the person. Also, do not isolate yourself with the person. We want to bring this person around our church community, small group, family, so we can have other members of our community look at this person and say, yes, that is a kingdom spouse or a kingdom wife or a kingdom husband, or no, that person is not good for you. One of the things with me and Kennedy, I wanted to pace myself. I did not text Kennedy all day, every day. No, we had work to do. She was actually in school and I was actually at work. And so I was like, I want to focus on doing the thing that God has called me to do in this season. I'm going to pace myself. I'm going to have self-control because we're going to talk tonight. A lot of people have been reaching out to us and very interested in our coaching business because this is some of the stuff that we teach. We teach about pacing yourself and also the steps in relationships. And so if you are serious, if you're dedicated to growing in your relationship, to even learning how to do relationships the right way, and you have the energy, the resources, and even the time right now, listen, we want to talk to you. In the description below is a link to an application. Fill that application and book a call with us. On that call, we're going to see where you are, where you want to go, and develop a roadmap so you can honor God in your relationship. Now, the second point is a huge one. You see, when you start liking a person, you want to start spending more and more time with that person, right? However, my second point is simple. We want to start creating space. The first one is pace. The second one is space. We want to start creating space. Now, why would I say that? Yes, it's important to spend time with the person. However, you want to still have some distance because what I know is if we're starting to spend a lot of time with that person, we can cross boundaries and then break boundaries. One of the things that me and Kennedy really wanted to focus on is to create that space so we can still have family time, so we can still go to our own separate small groups. Why is this important? Because you still want to develop accountability alone. And so when y'all get together or even married, y'all still have that accountability. When you start spending so much time with the person, your other friends and accountability and the people that are important to you are pushed away. And now when you call on them, they're not there. Listen, you need to start creating that space. One of the things that we encourage you to do is not to have sleepovers with that person. You do not need to have a romantic movie night at your house alone with all the lights off under some covers on your bed. That is not wise. You also do not need to start taking long extended vacations by yourselves in another country in the same room. Again, that is not wise. you need to start creating more space between each other. That means, hey, we're going to see each other this weekend only twice. Hey, we're not going to talk so long on the phone because we need to rest or we need to go to sleep so we can get up and be effective at work. Start creating space in your relationships. Now, the third one is also a big one. You see, you need to give that person grace. This person is not perfect, right? We hear stories all the time from our clients and also people in our community about their crush and how they messed up and how they did something wrong. So we sit back and listen and shake our head. And then we ask this question: what did you do lately? Like, what ungodly thing did you do in the relationship? We are not perfect, and the same God, the same Jesus died for me, and they also died for the other person. So we need to give them grace. You have to remind yourself that the person that you like will do stuff that annoy you. But you have to ask yourself, if they continue to do that annoying behavior or habit, will I stay? And you have to be honest with yourself. If you say, yes, I can stay, continue with the relationship. However, if you say no, it's time to have a serious conversation. You see, the reality is when you like somebody, you tend to look over some of the annoying things that they do, some of the habits that annoy you. Nevertheless, when you move further and further into the relationship, maybe even into engagement, and you really didn't have that conversation, listen, you're going to be miserable. And if you enter into marriage without having that conversation, this can be a contentious point in your marriage that could have been handled in courtship. You see, the last point is that God knows that you like this person. So stay in God's face. That's right. You need to continue your spiritual disciplines, even while you're being pursued, or if you're a man, if you're pursuing a woman. You see, so many times we hear the same story. Someone likes a person and they starting to spend a lot of time with them. And they stop praying, they stop fasting, they stop being in their word, they stop going into the prayer closet. Why? Because they made their crush the idol. An idol is anything or anyone that takes the place of God in your heart. And God should never be second place in your relationship. God should always be in the center of your relationship. So stay in God's face. Continue to go to church. Continue to read your word. Continue to read your devotionals. Continue to fast and pray about that person to see if they really are your kingdom spouse, your kingdom wife, your kingdom husband. Stay in God's face. He wants to develop a relationship with both of you. You want to encourage the person. Spend a lot of times with God. I'm going to be here. If God wants us to be married, we will be married. But let's not make each other an idol. Jesus is number one on the throne of my heart, not the person. And so this is what me and Kennedy did. We focus on having our own personal relationship with Jesus Christ, staying up with our spiritual discipline, and now we are thriving in our marriage today. Now, if you are a person who wants a mentor to teach you more principles, to teach you the steps of relationships so you can do it the right way, so you won't fumble and you will have a winning streak and not a losing streak in your relationship. In the description below is an application. Fill it out. Book a call with us. And on that call, we want to see where you are, where you want to go, and develop a roadmap so you can honor God in your relationship. Now, if you want to see other videos that talks about kingdom spouse or preparation for marriage, you can watch these videos right here.